Hey guys, let's take a quick dive into Android Auto 12.2. This is the latest smartphone projection system from Google and the various compatible smartphones out there. You'll notice that right now we're driving a new Ford Explorer, and this Ford Explorer has the Ford Digital Experience, which means this is actually running Google Automotive, basically an automotive version of Android. So this is Android projecting on Android, which is, kind of cool. And you'll notice that there are certainly some similarities, but some differences here as well. For instance, if we're running Google Maps on Android Auto, and I switch over to Android Automotive, I'm just going to call them all Android, that's going to be easier. You notice that in this implementation from Ford, we don't have satellite imagery available. That's a choice by Ford. Theoretically, they could support that on this system. They choose to just limit the on-system data. So if you want satellite imagery, you're going to have to use Android Auto. Now, unlike Apple's CarPlay, Android Auto does not support quite as many different screen formats. So you notice you cannot expand and contract the screen to occupy a bit more screen real estate. But unlike CarPlay, some of the widgets are a little bit better featured, I would say. You have your widgets over here. You have widgets there. They're a little bit more configurable as far as what those widgets can be. And if you're at the home screen, you can still get the map over there with that home icon there. So a little bit more flexibility depending on exactly what you're after in the system. You'll notice that the animations are also nice and smooth with those boxes that move just side to side like that. Up here we have a bunch of different apps. This is Travis's smartphone currently here, so we have things like Electrify America, where you can find nearby charging stations. If you're driving an EV, that's definitely a nice handy touch. It'll give you pricing. You can go ahead and navigate there, and that's going to insert that destination into the Google Maps app. Logically, there are other apps available, things like Pandora there, you have your general phone interface, you have the voice command button. Find me a gas station nearby.
Okay, there's mobile 7 minutes away. Want to navigate there?
And of course, if you wanted, we'll say no. If you wanted additional information, for instance, you can click on those options and see hours, see phone numbers, things like that. And depending on where you are and what you're looking for, you can also get pricing. So not all these gas stations offer pricing information in the Google database, but you can see this BP is $3.26 a gallon. So definitely some handy features there. Now versus the built-in Google system, you can do a little bit more control, of course, via Google's built-in software, because you can command things like your temperature and the climate control, etc. If you want to customize what shows up on Android Auto, you can just pop up your customized launcher. And here you can see all the various apps that are available and whether or not you want them to show up on Android Auto. So for instance, if you didn't really like Teams to be there, you can go ahead and turn that off. You'd then have to restart Android Auto, and then it would disappear from the available apps list right there. You can also adjust things like showing message notifications, having messages play a chime, having AI message summaries, etc. Those are another really cool touch that you won't find in the native Google implementation here. So for instance, if I hit the home button, we see a pretty familiar interface. This map is actually being delivered by Android Auto, mind you. So if we cancel the navigation here, we'll go ahead and cancel that, exit navigation, and we go back to this home screen, then it's going to use the built-in Google mapping interface for this version of Android built in. But you'll notice if I go to the home screen here, we have a messages option, but it's not going to show messages in exactly the same way. You could show messages and retrieve them from your smartphone, but it's not going to be quite as well featured as if you were just interacting with your messages inside Android Auto. That's one of the reasons that you might want to do that. Not all the settings for Android Auto are, of course, contained in the Android Auto interface. Some are going to be in the Android Auto app on your Android device as well. So depending on exactly what you're looking for, things like starting music automatically, customizing the toolbar, whether you want taskbar widgets to show up for various apps, etc., or whether you want the assistant to detect, hey, Google, those are all things that you would do here in the Android Auto customization app. Android Auto also customizes the widgets over here for things that you might want to listen to based on your previous listening habits. Over here, there's a For You option. You can then roll through the various different radio stations, etc., that you've been using in the past. Be sure and let us know what you think about Android Auto and the latest update down there in the comments section below, and whether you'd like us to do more videos like this. See all of you later.